Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Tea Time with AX. We don't always drink tea, but honey, we spill tea. And today, I have a bit of a rant. Okay guys, so we're doing another one of my, self-care chit-chat videos. And today I have towel on my neck and my hair looking like this because I'm getting a relaxer. I can't do the natural hair thing anymore, okay? Psych! It's bentonite clay. Relaxer, who, what, whom? Also, if you see me talking like this with my nails, you already know how it is. When you first get your nails done, those first few days, you're basically talking like this, like, oh, so what was your favorite thing about the movie? What do you enjoy doing in your free time? You want to get your money's worth, so everything involves talking like this. Okay, so today we don't have tea, but we have tiger nut milk. Today is self-care day, so why not just go all the way? You know what I mean? For the bentonite clay, I put maybe a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and like 3 tablespoons of water. And then I put like a cup or so, maybe half a cup, 3/4 of a cup of bentonite clay. I have water in a spray bottle here. So let's get into this whole thing. Okay, so this is the thing. A friend and I were talking last week, just kind of about the various complexes that we have here in Nigeria and how those complexes are kind of like detrimental and also annoying as hell. A lot of Nigerians like foreign things. They like to say that they got things in this place or that place. And also they just don't believe that Nigerian things are good enough. The strange thing is that like when we were growing up, it was a lot worse, which is so sad because like even now it's still pretty bad. We have to kind of give some background on where all of this stems from so that we're understanding why this mentality is taking place. Because I feel like self-awareness is the first step in improving a problem. So of course, as you know, or you may or may not know, Nigeria was a former British colony. And like every country or every region that was colonized by Europeans, a lot of their cultural norms were stripped away from them. And a lot of things that were commonplace or normal or seen as good, eventually now were seen as bad or primitive, etc. But the thing about Nigerians is that they not only have complexes about like the West being better, they just dislike, a lot of Nigerians just dislike Nigerian things. So for example, they rather tell you that they got a dress from Ghana or Togo than tell you they got it in Nigeria. So it's not even necessarily like, oh, it has to be from the West. It's just, no, I need to tell you that it's not from Nigeria. Don't get me wrong. On the other end, that's kind of a good thing because at least we're placing value on other African countries, but then at what expense? Nigerians have a thing with accents. So if you're listening to any radio station or watching any TV, like the average TV presenter or listening to the average radio presenter, they're gonna have an accent like mine. Most times it's not like a legit accent. It's like, of course, as we call it here, funny. And to be honest with you, there's a lot of people on the radio, a lot of people on the TV that like, I personally cannot stand to watch them or listen to them because I'm like, you and I both know that's not how you talk. And so it's annoying listening to you talk. So when someone has an accent, and mind you, Nigerian accent is an accent, by the way, but you know, a different kind of accent, they get a lot of attention and generally are exposed to different, I would say different opportunities in a sense, because people think, oh my gosh, if I have somebody like this, reading or working here, answering the phones, it's going to do so much better for my business. I have been called in to come and do announcements in organizations and things like that, just because of the way that I talk. And initially, when I first came here, I kind of used it to my benefit. I would over exaggerate my R's, and instead of saying T, I would say D, like water instead of water. Initially, it felt good, having that privilege of people, automatically turning up their ear or willing to listen to me more, and also the compliments and things like that that I got from my accent. But then I just realized something. Actually, it was when I discovered that some parents are sending their children to some schools here in Nigeria that do not allow them to speak in Nigerian accents. Like, the schools teach them to speak with British and American accents. And that's when I knew that no, this is more than just being able to get past security and, getting a little bit more attention. This is like a serious complex. How are you paying money to have Nigerian children who grew up in Nigeria not speak like Nigerians? And obviously, if they're not speaking like Nigerians, they're obviously not learning the language. This is cool. I like it. Like, weighs my hair down. So speaking of the entertainment industry, we have a lot of movies and TV shows that just don't depict norms here. And yeah, we're getting a little better because a lot of people are realizing, okay, we need to tell realistic stories. But we still have a lot of TV shows and movies that are like basically directly copying an American movie or British movie, mostly an American movie. And a lot of the American movies, their themes and norms and practices are just not like ours, even though we've been westernized or globalized in a sense. So that's what makes, the entertainment industry and the movie industry here unattractive to a lot of everyday Nigerians, because they're like, these people are telling stories that have nothing to do with me. Telling stories of people going on a yacht and eating caviar. And I'm not saying we don't have yachts and we don't have caviars, but is that realistic for the average Nigerian? No. So another weird thing or something that bothers me a lot is we kind of have this notion that our work only has value when it's recognized by foreign bodies, or in other words, recognized by white people, but AKA recognized by foreign bodies. Like, for example, people were thanking, and Beehive, I'm part of the Beehive. You can come for me if you want to, but I'm just being honest. People were thanking Beyonce for putting artists like Burna Boy and Wizkid and Shatta Wale on the map. And it's like, no, they've been on the map. They've been making contributions to the music industry in their countries and on the continent. So just because Beyonce just recently found out about them doesn't mean that their work didn't have value before. It's a lot of times people see it as an accomplishment when foreign bodies recognize them. And not even in terms of like making money. Do you know what I mean? Not even in terms of like, oh, this new market is another avenue for me to make money or grow my business. It's like, no, Western people or white people finally recognize me, and it means a lot. There's a woman who's running a very successful food business here, and it's doing really well. She has a lot of customers, almost all being Nigerian. And she posted something really embarrassing. To me, it was like secondhand embarrassment. Apparently, a company hired her to make like some, I think it was a bacha or something like that. And she goes on this posting spree for like 2 weeks. Guys, my business has finally made it. White people are eating my food. Her exact words were, white people are eating my food. And that was kind of weird. Now, I would have been able to like give her some leeway if she had said, oh, our food is crossing borders, blah, blah, blah. I would have been like, oh, okay, she's just excited that her business is expanding. But no, I wish she didn't post it, but I think she was also trying to make her competitors be like, oh, wow, I'm so behind because a white person isn't eating my food. Doesn't that just sound so weird to you? That just sounds so freaking weird. I'm so unhappy even saying this. It's so weird and embarrassing. So the weird thing about this whole being foreign thing is it it affects all classes here in Nigeria, like from the upper class to the emerging middle class and the lower class, but just in different ways. So for example, you might find somebody who, you know, has money or whatever the case may be, someone that that travels out a lot or whatever, who likes to emphasize the fact that they use foreign things or they have foreign things. Oh, I bought this in the UK. I bought this here. I bought this there. Oh no, I did not buy that in Nigeria. I travel out to buy it. That kind of thing, which is just, it's different if you're telling people, okay, it's better there or whatever, but it's just like a lot of times it's very condescending the way that they present those kinds of things. So it's like, ew. And then we have the emerging middle class that has a lot of, obviously a lot of exposure. They may not have necessarily been to those countries yet, but they have exposure. So they know, and they always want to let you know that they know about what's going on in the West or what's going on here or about this product or that item that's popular in the UK or France or whatever. Then we have a lot of people in, you know, in the lower income bracket who directly or very obviously state or show you that they think foreign things are better, especially when it comes to dating, when it comes to food, when it comes to who they work for. A lot of Nigerians will say, I'd rather work for a white person. I'd rather work for an Indian or whatever, because first of all, even though a lot of these people pay them less, but it's just the prestige to their family. Their family was going to be like, and mind you, this is not everyone, but their family is going to be like, yes, honey, listen, my husband works for a white man. Another thing I noticed about this whole foreign thing is that it's kind of like a conversation starter. I was at my cousin's high school graduation, and apparently the owners or something are American. They're like from Maine, I think. And my uncle introduced them, and they, you know, he just casually mentioned, oh, well, she's here from Maryland. And the guy's like, oh, wow, how do you like it here? It's pretty bad, right? And I just looked at them. You guys already know me. I already know what I said. I was like, no, it's not. How is that a conversation starter? So first and foremost, these people that we're putting on a pedestal think we're trash too. So we think we're trash, and so do they. It says a lot about us and the value that we place on ourselves when we automatically deem foreign things as better. Like, yes, development-wise, to some degree, a lot of Western countries are doing better in terms of like infrastructure and things like that. But the whole thing of like being foreign or the obsession with being foreign, dating foreign, all those kinds of stuff, it's weird and it's indirectly detrimental to the society. That's why I'm really so impressed or happy with the whole Made in Nigeria movement that's picking up. It's kind of been picking up for like the past 2 or 3 years. And I love it because we're basically encouraging each other to like keep pushing in business. We're encouraging each other to like promote and protect what we have to offer, because we do have a lot to offer. I mean, you guys have seen on my channel and even on my Instagram the brands that I promote. They're made in Nigeria. They're produced in Nigeria. Their resources are here in Nigeria. Their staff are Nigerians. The owner are Nigerian. So these kinds of initiatives, I really want to see more of them, because I think that's what's going to give everyone the incentive for us to give ourselves a chance. But I would just encourage people to, what do I even say? How do I even say this? First and foremost, we have to stop thinking that Western is the best, or, you know, this is the best or that is the best. We have to stop thinking that we automatically have value or something automatically has more value because it's not from Nigeria. Yes, there are a lot of crappy things here, a lot of issues, you know, with maintenance culture and things like that. But I feel like there are crappy things everywhere. There are crappy things everywhere. So the most important thing is focusing on making, I feel like I say that in all of my videos, but I'm gonna say it again. Here's my presidential speech again. Our emphasis needs to be on making this country work, because at the end of the day, this is our country. Stop assuming that someone is better than you because they lived in the West or they speak a certain way, because it's not true. They're not better than you because they they've experienced Nigeria or experienced the world in a way that's different from you. This is such a messy, like, this is so messy, guys. I'm so annoyed because I wanted to wear this skirt out, like, to the store. But now I have to wear something else because it's covered in the thing. It just keeps dripping everywhere. All right, guys, so that's my little rant for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your opinions on everything that I've spoken about today. It was a little disorganized because I was just kind of doing like a brain dump, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll consider using bentonite clay on your hair. I'm gonna leave this on for 15 minutes. Maybe I'll do another video on this if you'd want to see the whole process of washing my hair after a protective style. But I really want to hear your thoughts on this. Are these just random thoughts? Do they even make any sense? Are they organized? Who knows? Who really knows? Thank you for joining me. And I'll see you in my next video. Mwah!